Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Hatmaker, the Executive and Artistic Director of Art of Elan, and I am so thrilled to be joined here today by Jay and Austin from the Jack Quartet. Thanks for making time to chat with us today.
Happy to be here.
Art of Elan is so thrilled to be bringing Jack Quartet out here in May for our first ever collaboration with Art Power. Art Power, like Art of Elan, has a commitment, an incredible commitment in innovative programming, and obviously that is what you guys are so well known for as well. And so I think there's going to be just tons of great synchronicity on this May 6th program. And I was trying to remember, when was the last time you guys performed here in San Diego as a group?
It was before the pandemic, right, Jay? Is it the last time? The last time we did was with Roger Reynolds. Was that the last time doing Roger's music after we recorded it?
I I think that might have been it. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
and
was the
we
last
also
time.
did a new piece by Rand Steiger, a really beautiful piece with electronics. Very dark, but very beautiful.
Yeah, Rand.
Yeah, I think that was like 2017 or something like that.
Feels right. Maybe 2018, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so this is super exciting for that reason also. Um, I know you guys are on a bigger tour, but we are so grateful that you've made time to come to San Diego. And I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about this modern medieval program. Just sort of the concept of it, how it started, and how it's reflected in the particular program you'll be doing here on May 6th.
Yeah, I mean, I think the program in general, I think, kind of speaks to something that's important to us, is which is the idea that, like, I think the work that we do is really not just purely new, or like a split with the past, the musical past that's come before us. That it's really kind of part of a continuum and kind of a continued conversation with music that's happened before us. And whether we're like fully aware of it or not, as performers, I think we are coming out of a lineage of performers, of composers, and I think situating new music in that context makes a lot of sense to me. Um, so what we've basically done is kind of come up with a list of pieces that we're commissioning or have played or are interested in playing, that we feel speaks in some way, either directly or kind of more vaguely, to music or ideas from kind of the distant past. So we use medieval, not like literally. It could be Renaissance music, it could be Baroque music, but often we find the most resonance does tend to happen with medieval music, like properly medieval music. Um, just because I think, like, aesthetics and musical creative aesthetic values do change over time, and it just maybe so happens that the medieval era, there was a lot of experimentation back then, really just for the sake of experimenting, which is cool. It's like abstract, like devotion to art, or like artistic ideas. So you get these composers that are experimenting with really complex ideas and really unusual ideas that I don't think you really see a level of complexity like that until the 20th century. Um, so I think they speak to each other in really interesting ways, and a lot of people who really love old music too I find that they might even be not fully aware that there was a level of experimentation on that level.
Mhm.
So we're trying to not just do like Gesualdo, which is a very common example of, like, hey, old music is really weird, but it gets even weirder. And we like to find those things. Although we like Gesualdo too, but there's even stranger things, stranger rhythmic um, kinds of pieces. We've been doing a bunch of stuff with really highly microtonal pieces from that era,
Hmm.
um, and also doing some of our own arrangements too. So Chris Otto has done a bunch of compositions that are taking inspiration from specific pieces and kind of reworking them, not really changing them, but kind of elucidating what the like kind of the fundamental concept is behind the piece. And I know, and Austin is doing one based on my show also, and you can speak at that about that. But that's basically the gist of the concept.
Thank you. It sounds so fascinating. And I know um, one of the things that Art of Elan loves to do is keep our concert programming really compact. So 1 hour of music, no intermission, really keep everybody engaged from start to finish. So I know we've been really careful with wanting to curate this particular program in a really intentional way. And Austin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you guys are starting your program with one of your arrangements when you're out here.
That's correct. Yeah, it started off as an arrangement, and then it kind of took on a life of its own. There's this piece by Machaut, the Hoquetas David, which is a really, really interesting piece where he took this chant and created a hocket over it for three voices. And I got really inspired by what Machaut was doing kind of structurally with that, and the way that he was playing games with like different phrase lengths, different little rhythmic cells, and different harmonies, and the way that all came together. And I was also thinking about you ever seen the movie The Name of the Rose or read that book?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm familiar with it, but it's been a
yeah,
while.
it's a book by Umberto Eco. I was thinking about this scene where this young monk sees a church door and the impressive tympanum that's carved in the rock over it, and has this ecstatic vision. And it's, everything has numbers. There's like the 21 ancients arranged in sevens and threes, and then there's the seated one. And just thinking about the way that people's energy, excitement, and lived experience gets channeled through all these different things, these different ways that we try to quantify these intense feelings that we have, whether that's a composer using phrase lengths and hockets to pull together different numbers, or people funneling all of their energy into ecstatic religious visions. And yeah, so that's taken on a bit of a life of its own. And the piece is now has parts of the Hoquetas David. It also has some not so hidden references to some other more contemporary medieval inspired music. Arvo Part's Fratres. It's a bit
Oh,
of a
cool.
a bit of a mashup of those
Nice.
two things. So they're happening at the same time at different rhythmic levels. Yeah, there's a lot
Oh,
going on.
I think that's so cool. And I don't know if I'm guessing the last time you guys were here, you probably didn't perform in this space. I don't know if you're familiar with the Loft, which is on campus at UCSD, but it's sort of an intimate, almost like supper club, cabaret style space where there is a stage, but the audience is just a handful of feet away from you. It's not a very high stage. And it really does feel like you're just in someone's home. And so I think it'll be really interesting to experience this kind of music, especially stuff that you've had a personal hand in bringing to life. I think it'll be really, really very cool and intimate for our audience. Certainly, they will have never experienced a program like this. I know there are a couple of other. I mean, everything on the program's interesting. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Obviously, our audience, I mentioned earlier, loves Caroline Shaw, so they're excited that I believe it's Entr'acte will be on that program, and I know there are some really other interesting selections. Is there anything else you want to highlight besides the Macho arrangement?
Yeah, something I thought that's worth highlighting, given that you're saying it's kind of an intimate environment, is
Yeah.
just like I think one of the things that can be exciting about string quartet is the physicality of what we do, and the embodied nature of some of the rhythmic stuff that's going to happen. So like Gabriella Smith's Carrot Revolution, which
Yes.
is on the program because it has some Periton references, but it also has a quote from The Who and Dvorak's American Quartet, and is a really just like rhythmically fascinating piece. It also just has kind of like sounds and a physicality to the way we play that I think being up close to seeing the way that we're interacting and getting into the groove of it will be really fun for people.
Yay. Oh, I'm getting so excited now. And I know you're making the stop here in the midst of a bigger tour. I don't know, is it just a West Coast tour, or where are you off to after San Diego or before?
I think it's first to San Diego, and then we're going up to Stanford to do a new piece by Terry Riley, which will be very exciting, with Claire Chase on flute, I'm not sure. And then we're headed to London and Berlin to play a similar program as what we're playing in La Jolla. A little bit different, and we have to play three programs of it, but but I'm also kind of excited about that too, that we're playing 3 programs, because I'm happy that we've like built 3 programs of this stuff, which is all like really interesting to me. Yeah.
So very cool. Very, very cool. I cannot tell you, we've been excited for months now that this is happening, and feel really privileged that we can make a stop on that. San Diego can be one of your stops on this tour. I also am hoping, and this will just sort of hopefully pique people's interest for next season, that we can bring you back out here next year. I know Van Steiger has another piece that he's written for you all that we would love to premiere, and have you work perhaps with our student composers here. So we're hoping this is not, it won't be another 7 years before you're back. We're hoping this is just the beginning of a longer relationship. So thank you again. For people interested in purchasing tickets, you can find information on our website, artofelan.org. It's also on Art Power's website. And this is Monday, May 6th. I believe it's an 8 o'clock show. The doors open at 7, so people can come and have a bite to eat. This is at the Loft on campus at UCSD. You can get your glass of wine. And then I know we'll be in for a really memorable evening of music making, thanks to you all and the Jack and the rest of your colleagues in the Jack Quartet. So again, Jay and Austin, thank you so much for making time to chat about this. And we'll look forward to May 6th.
Thanks. See you there.
Yeah,
Thank
can't
you.
wait.